Well, we're finally breaking ground again, and not a minute too soon. The winter is coming, and we still haven't gotten the carport built. Last year, our SUV was quite literally buried in the snow, and I'm not looking forward to dealing with that again this year. And that snow is coming. I've mentioned the rocks several times in the program, but I've come to appreciate that if it weren't for the rocks, there'd be no land here at all. Once you scrape away the small boulders, you find only larger boulders underneath. I suppose it's not uncommon when you live near a river and at the base of a mountain range. Gravity has laid them here, and until we dragged them out with shovels, they were content to be where they landed. But apart from the rocks, there is also concern for the snow. Hakuba is one of the snowiest places on the planet. In fact, we get 11 meters of snow per year on the slopes, and even snowfall in town can be up around 6 meters per year. That means that whatever you build has got to endure that weight, both on the roof and pushing up against the walls. So, rocks or no, we need a deep base for even the walls of a carport. The truth is, I probably made a mistake when I asked the builders not to remove the rocks from the property. I realized this halfway in, and they started to remove some of them, but most of the rocks we excavated are still piled up on the land. They are beautiful in a way, and I know that if I can muster the energy and wherewithal, I could build some nice rock walls, garden paths, and even a driveway with these randomly shaped and unmanageably heavy boulders. But the truth is, as I look out at the collection gathered, I just may not have enough of that wherewithal. But that's for another day. And speaking of snow, when starting the dig, we were only days away from winter, and it didn't take a degree in meteorology to realize we were well behind schedule. But there has been a boom in Hakuba this year, and Shimokawa-san and his team were simply overbooked. Frankly, they just couldn't get to us in time, and that meant groundbreaking and the cement pour for the foundation would happen with the threat of snow on the horizon. Even getting the subcontractors lined up to match the schedule took quite a bit of doing on Shimokawa-san's part. They started as soon as they could, and they worked as fast as they could. The first task was digging the hole deep enough and level enough for the concrete supports for both the carport and for the deck we would be adding later. After digging about 50 centimeters down, they built the rebar reinforcements. There was a base of about 10 centimeters that was enclosed in wood supports, and they needed to make sure that the base was level. That would be the first concrete lay. Then a taller wall of concrete that would be close to 1 meter tall would be added. The rebar supporting that wall was also built. The wall would only be visible for about 50 centimeters or so after the dirt and smaller rock was laid down to replace the boulders that we'd removed. They laid the concrete base and let it dry first. This took a few days, and a few more days were required to let the cold weather cement cure sufficiently to move on to the next step. But those few days were expensive because little did any of us know the Hakuba winter was just around the corner. Pouring concrete in cold weather is something less than advisable, but there are techniques to make it work. Perhaps the biggest risk is that the water in the concrete will freeze as it's drying, and that will render the cement as much as 50% weaker. In the worst case scenario, it can even make the cement completely unusable. So, as the cement is poured, it needs to be packed down and the water and air pockets need to be beaten out. In addition, the cement needs to be mixed with hot water, and the special cold weather cement has additives to make it set quicker. This is commonly used in colder climates, and Shimokawa-san and his team, as well as the cement contractors, assured us that the cement would be strong and safe. We have no choice but to believe them, but I have a lot of faith in Shimokawa-san's opinions, and I'm really excited to finally see this carport and deck start to go up.